and welcome to the New Ulm Forum. I'm Kara Carlson, and I'm with the New Ulm League of Women Voters. And today's program is designed to highlight and go into a little depth on topics and issues that impact New Ulm and the surrounding community. And our program is going to be extra fun today because we're going to introduce Sarah Warmka. And it has been in the paper and all over that our New Ulm Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors has hired you as the new president and CEO. So congratulations, Sarah. And let's get started with the good stuff right off. How about introduce us to your background, education, where you grew up, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. Yes, happy to be here. Happy to be at the Chamber in this role. I'm very excited about it. I grew up in Eden Valley, which is a really small town, sort of by St. Cloud, Eden Valley, Watkins.
Yes.
So I went to high school there and then went to college in St. Cloud. I have a bachelor's degree in history and worked at the Stearns History Museum, which is a nationally accredited museum in Stearns County. It's in St. Cloud. In St. Cloud, I met my husband, Eric Warmka, which many of your viewers will know, city councilor. He's also at the Minnesota Valley Funeral Homes. He's a funeral director and the manager there. We have one child. We got married in 2000 and we met in 2007, got married in 2009.
Little details.
Yes,
yeah,
right, got to
matters,
keep these together. But you know, after we got married in 2009, we came to Bachfest here in 2010, right after we got married. And it was awesome to see New Ulm and kind of just explore the town and see it as a tourist destination. And then who knew that we'd move here someday, which we weren't thinking about doing until we had our child. So we have a son, Jackson. He is turning 9 at the end of this month. And he goes to public school. He's at Jefferson there.
Nice. So I think that's really cool that you had that tourism experience and whatever little magic New Ulm had going, you remembered it and you thought, absolutely, when it was an opportunity to come here. All right, so now many of us in town are actually able to recognize you because you're not brand new to the Chamber of Commerce. So can you give us a little short timeline on the professional work that you've done with the Chamber and Allina Hospital, and give us some insight into some of the major projects you've accomplished those places?
Sure. So when we moved here, I was unemployed. I was a stay-at-home mom for a month while we moved to town. And then I started working at the Chamber after a month, and my very first day actually was Oktoberfest of 2014.
There's a theme here. There's a theme. I like that.
You know, the Chamber does Oktoberfest, but I had a trip planned, and so I couldn't start until, and then the flight was delayed, so literally Saturday of Oktoberfest was my first day. So how fun, right? I mean, how would I not want to come back and work for an organization that plans fun events? So that I worked at the Chamber as in marketing. So I was director of marketing there for 6 years. Terry Sweeney was
Yes, you had the mayor's old job.
Right,
Okay, excellent.
He was in that role for a number of years. So I worked there doing marketing, so you know, tourism promotion, as well as business promotion, and just a ton of different things that the Chamber is involved with. And then Allina stole me away in August of 2020 to be marketing and communications here at the New Ulm Medical Center. And I worked with Toby Fryer as executive assistant and with a couple of the other leaders there, which was really great and just a really great career and amazing, eye-opening to see all the things that happen at the medical center. And it was really, I loved working there. And then when the Chamber president, former Chamber president decided to take a different position, they posted it, and I thought, you know, at that time that it's the right move. I miss being at the Chamber. I miss being involved with the business community and the community in general, and just everything that the town has going on. And it's really inspiring to work with all these business leaders in town, and so I thought I'd try for it, and here I am.
And lo and behold. Now, when you talk about Terry had the position before in tourism, out of curiosity, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ein bisschen.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and that goes hand in hand with being a historical person too.
Right.
In
yes.
those museums, you often have to dive into German. So you have reading and a little bit of speaking?
Yeah, so the Stearns County, of course, is very German. So I was an archivist at the Stearns History Museum for 8 years in St. Cloud. So I would translate German obituaries and do genealogy research and all that kind of stuff, which I think probably a lot of New Ulm people aren't familiar with that part of my history.
Yeah, but the German language, it's like a strong skill to have when you've got your position that you're in.
Right.
So very cool, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, as an insider who has been given the reins of the chamber, why don't we talk a little bit about, and I know you're just getting started, but how about a little bit of the vision that you're going to bring to the table and what you'd like to see as some future happenings for New Ulm?
So I am brand new in this role for sure, but there's just so much good work that's happening at the chamber, and so I'm really excited to get involved and continue that good work. So I've spent again, brand new, but I've been spending my time getting caught up and attending meetings and kind of getting up to speed on all the various happenings that the chamber's involved with. So I brought a list of some of the committees. Good. Yes. So of course the chamber board is very busy, and they just hired a new CEO. That's me. Yep. They're also busy planning the annual meeting, business of the year. Those are things that are upcoming that are happening right now. We also have the Welcoming Committee. They're the ambassadors or top hatters in some communities.
They're in the paper. Whenever they cut the ribbon, they show up and create the celebration as it should happen, right?
Right, yeah. Ribbon cuttings, new managers, remodels, any kind of those really big business expansions or positive things that are happening, they want to recognize. And we help spread the word for that. So that's a great committee that's very active. NUBRA is the New Ulm Business and Retail Association, so they have been very busy this holiday season, with shopping promotions, Christmas shopping, things like that have been happening. They also have some fun stuff planned. Stay tuned for that.
All right.
Then there's BEN, the Business Education Network. So that's a combination of business leaders and education, so the schools are involved with that as well. So they are looking at planning the Career Expo this spring that will happen in late March or early April. They're lining up that, as well as a Teacher in the Workplace program. So those are kind of their current things that they're working on. CVB is the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Okay. So, they get a portion of lodging tax from, so when visitors stay in our hotels, heads and beds, then our hotels, our Airbnbs, our bed and breakfast, whenever they stay in town, there's a lodging tax. So the city collects that and then keeps a small portion for maintaining that and then gives that to the CVB. And it's the CVB's job then to use that money to market New Ulm and convince more
booklet,
people.
Right?
Yes.
Like this is the classic New Ulm booklet that's at every doorway, and this is the result of that taxation. It's a really important and key subcommittee of the chamber.
Absolutely, very busy, very involved, and their lodging tax is now on comparable to where it was before the pandemic. So
good. That's
very
excellent
exciting
news.
to see. Absolutely.
And hopefully it'll keep that way.
Yes,
right?
hopefully, definitely.
Good.
Then there's also a foundation. So the foundation was just started last year in 2020. So it's a 501c3. So the chamber itself is a 501c6.
Okay.
Now this new foundation is a 501c3, so it makes it eligible for grants.
Okay, so it's not New Ulm Area Foundation.
It is not. It's the New Ulm Area Chamber of Commerce Foundation.
It sounds similar, but completely different beast, right? Okay, and
right.
what's the purpose of that foundation?
Education and business development. So things like Ben is working on the Career Expo. So funds to help support the Career Expo can come out of the foundation. And it's tax deductible if businesses want to make donations. Whereas previously, if they wanted to sponsor something at the Career Expo, it couldn't be tax deductible. This way, it makes it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A more powerful venue to build revenue for applicable things.
Correct.
Okay, that's exciting.
It is exciting.
That's a long list.
It's a long list. We're so busy.
Yes, but that's really cool. It's all
Yeah.
encompassing. Is there anything more on it, or?
Well, just a couple more. The New Ulm area, the New Ulm partnership is the city, the chamber, the EDA, EDC, PUC,
And this
the
is
schools.
a new partnership,
It
right?
is,
How long
correct.
has that been in the works?
I'm not entirely sure, but it's pretty new. A couple years, a year.
Okay,
So
so these powerhouses are getting together, and the purpose of that group is what?
the partnership one is focused on economic development and to make sure that we're not duplicating efforts and that we all know where the resources are for the various purposes that we would need when it comes to business retention and recruitment.
Okay, excellent there too.
Couple more then, just real quick, the women's networking event. There's a whole group of women who help plan this awesome event that's held every annually. Of course, the pandemic it didn't, but they're working hard on the next event. And then the Downtown Action Team, which you've been
Yes.
involved with as well,
Absolutely.
focusing on issues that are relevant to downtown and painting storefronts for vacant buildings to make the downtown look more welcoming and more appealing to residents, tourists, and potential business owners.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just amazing.
And just
But
a touch.
It shows you how critical the chamber is to a lot of the energy and efforts. Because if every business just went off and did their own little thing, there wouldn't be these special events and something to kind of corral and make it bigger than individual sparkles. So it's really nice to hear that list, Sarah.
Yeah.
All right, so now, we have this tourist booklet, and this is the brand new one. I was looking at the old one from last year, and it had our little logo that said, New Ulm, the city of charm and tradition, and we've all seen that. But we were talking ahead of time, it was Ruth Ann Webster and some other ladies, and we were saying that somebody had been at a speech, and a city official said, we need to add another word. New Ulm, the city of charm, tradition, and innovation. And
I love
think
that.
it's a powerful word. So I was hoping we could just have a little chit chat about those three things, and maybe if you could break down each word and give us your take on what it means to you. So let's start out with charm. The New Ulm, the city of charm. Have fun with it. What does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, we know we're charming, right? And people
Yes.
love that we're charming, and it's what makes us make lists, like how we were just recently named the most affordable small town in the U.S. where you'd actually want to live by Realtor.com.
really?
That happened in
By
2021.
who.com?
Realtor.com.
Real- That's a big name,
It's a
too.
big name, yeah.
Oh, I
and we
didn't
were
know
the
that.
number one we were the number one.
Very
so
cool.
It's cool,
Yeah.
for sure. And people recognize us as a charming small city.
Yes.
So I definitely think that we are charming. The history, the downtown is so cute. The shopping, the boutiques. Even we have a new ice cream shop. But how charming is that?
Yes,
Even though we're making progress, and it's very charming.
New Ulm rocks out the charm, right?
Yeah.
So then let's go into a little bit about that tradition of the German thing, right?
Right.
Now, is that good, or do you have challenges with that you have to break through? Talk to it.
Right. I think it's good, for sure. Obviously, I'm interested in German, and I think it is something that helps us stand out. Germans have more
identity,
fun.
right?
And at our festivals, and you can come here and hear German music in the streets and try some Landjagers from Turner Hall or
Yes.
Kaiserhofen. So I like the German thing. And we had talked once about, the Ausländer phrase.
Oh, yeah.
How
that is something that creeps in whenever you meet a new person. So
Yeah,
what
but-
do you think as a chamber? How are we going to fight that one off, right?
Well, I hope that we can all do our part and make everyone feel welcome here. Personally, I've never experienced it, and to me, it's something that I think people talk about at the Ulmer or at the coffee shops, that they're talking about this concept, but I don't know that it exists. I think as much effort as people want to put into a town, the town's been very welcoming to me and my family.
I think New Ulm has risen above the Auslander thing, and we are identifying as New Ulm nice, New Ulm kind, right? That strong tradition. And if anybody knows somebody's still into that Auslander thing, nick it in the bud, tell them to stop, because for the sense of professionalism and recruitment and success, we have to be kind and welcoming to everybody, right?
Right.
So that's an important point. And then the third one, let's talk about innovation, Sarah. And what
Yeah.
are you hoping that we can do as a city to really see ourselves as a competitor in this world.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's a lot of really innovative things that are happening here. So I think it's important to spread the word about that and to let people know that there's a lot of really great, cool, innovative stuff happening. Like parts that were made here in New Ulm are on Mars. Like how cool is that?
Yes.
Windings worked
Yes,
on
it was
some
Windings.
parts
All
that are
right.
in the Mars rover. Like that's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's the best in the world. The best
NASA.
manufacturing and engineering and thought and production right here in New Ulm.
Right,
know.
for sure. And other things too. I was thinking of examples like the CTE Center, this new, there's a problem, there's not enough people in the trades. So all these partners came together and now we have this amazing CTE Center that hopefully will help with some of that workforce issues.
Oh, I know. Instead of developing our kids to grow up and move away, we can lock and load them to carry on those professional needs right here in town.
Right. It's very
And,
innovative.
Yeah, and keep helping the businesses succeed as they need that workforce. So innovation, important. We got to add that on to.
I think so.
Get out the calligraphy pen, charm, tradition, innovation, right?
I love it.
Okay, and let's see what else. How about some other big, all-encompassing umbrella topics that come up a lot in the newspaper, especially in the world of economic development. So I'll just say childcare issues, workforce issues, housing. Do you want to talk about any of those?
Yeah, so, I'm still kind of learning in terms of, how I can help in those parts, but definitely workforce issues are of top of mind. And issues like childcare and housing, they're hand in hand.
One falls into the other.
Right.
Other.
Yes,
Sure.
of course. If someone is in town and they don't have anyone to watch their children, they can't be in the workforce because they have to stay home and watch their child. If they don't have a place to live, they won't move to town. So then we can't have more workers working in our businesses.
Yeah.
So it's all definitely very interconnected and big concerns to the chamber. So there's committees and things. There's a child care committee working.
League of Women Voters, New Ulm Forum. Another person that we interviewed was Heather Bragel.
Yes.
And she is the EDA head of that subcommittee on child care topics, right?
Right.
And there's, so tune into that episode because there's a special event coming up in January.
Yep.
At Turner Hall, and that's it. It's like these things that haunt and plague. The only way to successfully inch our way into changing them is to get them up and loaded and onto discussion forums and topics so that there can be action, right. in helping those things move along. How about housing? Is there anything on that element that you're thinking of in the world of chamber?
I guess nothing in particular. I've met with Chris Dalton once, so again, I'm brand new. So
Yes.
And I met with Heather as well, who used to do with EDA and housing, and so everyone knows it's a concern, and so hopefully there are some progress being made with different apartments potentially being built or spaces being converted into apartments.
There's lots of rumors that next summer is going to be a big action summer.
I sure hope
right?
so.
Yes, it's always exciting.
But that's a lot of committees and different people working on different things, and so hopefully it will come to fruition and we'll all see some progress soon.
Excellent. Okay, well, let's wrap it up a little bit. I know you've got your plate full, and I know things are just starting to get rolling. Is there anything you would like to take the time and make a special announcement about, or take it away.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Well, so a couple things just to mention: the annual meeting and Business of the Year. That's when we vote for the Business of the Year, as well as have our annual meeting is coming up January 20th.
Okay.
And then the Women's Networking event, they're having Holly Hoffman. She was on one of the seasons of Survivor, and it's a fantastic speaker. So she's coming. That's February 17th.
Okay, right around the corner. So do you have to reserve for that event, or
tickets? Yes.
Okay.
Yep, tickets are will be on sale depending on when this airs.
And you would obviously get them at the chamber.
Yes.
Oh,
of
that
course.
sounds like a fun time for you. Grab up a bunch of girls and go check that out.
Right.
Okay.
But the big announcement that's like breaking news here. The New Ulm Business and Retail Association, the home show has been happening. That's been their big fundraiser every year. Of course, it wasn't held because of the pandemic, so they've decided to not hold it again for another year. and see kind of feedback. So if you are interested in the home show, let us know that you're missing it not being there, and potentially it could come back. But in its place, they are planning a beer, wine, and spirits festival.
Oh,
It's called
okay.
Frühlingsfest, which means springtime.
Springtime.
Spring-
Frühling.
yes,
Yes. There's
exactly.
a German bird that sings
Yes.
Frühling. And
love that.
how lovely is that? And
Yes.
so beer, wine, and spirits.
Yep.
Because like Shell's now has gotten the products of, are they making their hard liquor yet? Or is it a local
So this
companies?
it's going to be like a beer, wine, and spirits festival for multiple. So
Oh, it's
called,
not just Shell's.
right.
It's
So
all
Southern
the-
Minnesota is kind of the
Okay.
focus. So it's going to be the Frühlingsfest for Southern Minnesota. And we're inviting breweries and distilleries and wineries throughout all of Southern Minnesota, as well as some from Northern Iowa as well. And it's going to be at the fairgrounds in a building there. And yeah, lots of fun
Same
stuff
thing
planned.
though, it's just open to the public, or is this one you're going to have tickets to
You
get
need
in?
tickets, and
Okay.
it's an event, so it's a tasting event. So you get a cup, you know, and you can go around and you're like the a beer fest or whatever that you would
Sure.
kind of. So you can try different beers from different breweries, different wines, different spirits.
No, I know it's kind of an apples to oranges thing, but it's really nice when there's all of a sudden a discontinuation of a major event, that there's just not a hole, that we
Right.
have something else to look forward to.
Yeah, we have-
So that's a great announcement to hear
Yeah.
that there's that action.
Again,
So-
innovation and people coming up with
Yes.
creative ideas on how we can move forward and try something new.
Excellent. Sarah, I'm so glad the Chamber has your energy and your ideas and your efforts. I think we're going to wrap up the program. Thank you, audience, for joining in today. If you have any ideas that you'd like to see on future programs, make sure to let us know. Other than that, good luck, Sarah Warnka.
Thank you for having me.